So Assalamualaikum and a very good evening to everyone who is with us tonight, watching through Zoom and Facebook Live for our ANSARA Muda Career Talk Master Series. So a very special thanks to our strategic partner, TNF Energy, for providing us this wonderful platform to share knowledge. Now, our topic for today is mechanical engineering with our special guest, Encik Shamsul Bahrin Bin Mokri from batch SPM 1992 with the title of Manager of Technical Services at PETRONAS Lubricant International Sdn Berhad. So we love your participation in this talk. So for any questions, if through Zoom, you can just put your questions through the chat box, and if through Facebook, through the comment section. So without further ado, I invite Encik Shamsul Bahrin Bin Mokri, who is someone that is a go-getter, who is a friendly person. So feel free to ask any questions that you have on your mind. So without further ado, Encik Shamsul.
Okay, thank you, Iman. Thank you very much to everyone. First of all, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Um, Alhamdulillah, I think this is an honor for me to be here to present to the audience for Ansara Career Talk. I feel that this is a blessing for me. I believe there are many other mechanical engineers within Ansara Typing that is more qualified than me, but I'll try my best to share my knowledge and experience. Shall we go for the presentation? I prepared a bit of a slide, so I hope everyone can bear with me and we can go through the slide presentation. Okay, but first of all, are you comfortable? Everyone comfortable for me to speak in English or mix between English and Bahasa Malaysia? I mean, it's up to you. I can speak in English or saya boleh berbahasa dalam bahasa Malaysia. SPM
One
dulu A1
person
tau.
one person stated English. Tapi I think if you want to do Manglish pun tak apa, whichever is
Okay.
more comfortable with you.
Okay. So I will do a bit of both. Yeah, I'll do some mixing. But for those who really wants to join, I mean, most of the time I'll talk in English because the medium for mechanical engineering is typically in English. So let me start with the presentation.
Mm-hmm. Encik Shamsul, have you shared your screen yet?
No, I will do it now.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Does everyone see my screen?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Shall we start now? Everyone's ready? Okay, good. Yeah. Okay, thank you everyone for having me today. So today we'll talk a bit on mechanical engineering. So these are the pictures that is very dear to me. Of course, in Petronas, we sponsored F1, Mercedes-Benz Formula One team. And I am at least part of this journey as a lubricant supplier for the Mercedes-Benz Formula One team. Okay, so there's only one way forward. Yeah, for the mechanical engineers, there's no other way. We must move forward. We must make sure that we find the solutions for any problems that is coming. I mean, that is the that becomes a challenge to our everyday life. All right. So for this topic tonight, I'll do a bit of introduction. What is mechanical engineering? Some tasks of mechanical engineers. I will share some of the tasks that I'm currently doing. What are the education requirements and what are the career opportunities as a mechanical engineer? And then I'll have a bit of slides on rewards, salary, perks, travel, fund, whatever that you want to be. Yeah, as a mechanical engineer, you can enjoy many things in life. Okay, and then at the end, maybe if we have time, I will answer some of the Q&As. Okay, so far so good. Okay. A little bit about myself. I'm Shamsul Bahrin Bin Mokri. I am 46 years old this year. I have I completed my Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering in University of Minnesota, USA in 1998. I work with many companies before coming into the current position that I have. So I work as trainee engineer in USA in 1980, 1998, 1999. I was the technical service engineer for Caltex in Penang. And then I joined Petronas Dagangan Berhad as the local lubricant engineer. Then I joined Petronas Lubricant International as senior regional engineer. And then after that, I become technical service manager. And in 2021, I'm now a senior consultant trainer for Loop Train Resources. Yeah, a bit on, this is about myself. I'm also a certified lubricant specialist. This is a certification or a specialist stamp of approval saying that I'm qualified lubricant engineer and I can advise people on the solution for lubrication or oil typically that is used in machinery. And I'm also certified by International Council of Machinery Lubricant USA for the machinery lubricant analyst. So essentially, I can be the master trainer for lubricant related field. All right. So let's look at what is mechanical engineering. Apa itu mechanical engineering? Yeah. But for those who are new, in this area, so mechanical engineering is a very wide topic. Essentially, it is the application of principles and problem-solving techniques of engineering from design to manufacturing for any products to the marketplace. Yeah, any object we manufacture, typically they are mechanical engineers behind it. So typically mechanical engineer, we analyze our work using the principle of motion, energy, and force. So we must be quite strong in our physics subject. Mechanical engineers, as far as myself and also other mechanical engineers, we ensure that we design products or services to function safely, efficiently, and reliably at the most competitive cost. Yeah. So far, so good. Okay. So what is mechanical engineering careers? Yeah, we as a mechanical engineers, we create technologies to meet human needs. Yeah, so every product or every service in modern life, in some way, is being touched by mechanical engineers. So anything, computer that we use, there are mechanical engineers that involved in design of chips, or the parts, the pumps or the fans, and the cars is designed by many type of mechanical engineers. So we are solving problems. Yeah, we continuously solving today's problem, and we create future solutions. Yeah. And this is in healthcare, energy, transportation, marine, space exploration, and many more. The key things about mechanical engineer, the key attributes that we have is that kita ni versatile. We can do many things. Yeah, so we solve challenges and we do innovation across so many fields. As a mechanical engineer that is involved in design of component or system, we design product from the biggest system like cars, the aeroplanes and satellites to the smallest component like sensors, chips and others. Yeah, so any product that needs to be manufactured, anything that will be moving parts, we need the expertise of mechanical engineers. Yeah, so in marine, in the refinery, in oil platform, in buildings, creating buildings, they are mechanical engineers behind it. Okay, so far so good. So let's look at engineers education pathway. Yeah, so I'm not really an expert on education pathway because most of the time my pathway is through the American education system. Yeah, but overall, I can summarize this for the typical educational requirement or pathway for to be a mechanical engineer. For of course we have to complete our SPM or O level. Yeah, so minimum 3 credits in math and science, typically physics and chemistry, and also a pass in English. Yeah, and then for A level we have to complete about 2 A's in math and physics. I keep emphasizing math and physics, yeah, for the students, for ANSARA student, ANSARA typing student, from 4, from 5, if you are attending this, yeah. So make sure we are strong in math and physics to be able to be a good mechanical engineers. If we are going for STPM level, I think for MRSM, I think very small numbers of people take STPM, but if it is STPM to get into Malaysian university, at least minimum 2 Cs, including math and physics. Australian matriculation, I'm not sure if this is the updated one. So average ATAR of 65, and also math and physics must be good, yeah. So foundation in science, minimum CGPA 2.0 and diploma 2.0. And also we must pass the MUET, yeah, Malaysia University English Test. I hope this is the correct and latest one. I mean, for if anyone who has a better what they call pathway that is updated pathway, you can maybe share with me later on. But I think this is pretty much the pathway for the education. If in the US, it's a bit different, where we complete our SPM, and then after that, we just need to complete TOEFL, which is the test for test of English for foreign students. And also we have SAT, which is Scholastic Aptitude Test, where we just test English and math to enter the university. After that, we can just enter the university. So it's quite straightforward and not as difficult as A level, I think. Yeah, if you pass SPM, typically you already pass the a minimal requirement to enter American universities. Okay, but of course, again, your maths and physics must be good lah. All right. So in mechanical engineering course, when we study mechanical engineering, it will equip us, yeah, it will enable us to have broad knowledge of technical knowledge and skills, yeah. So we will learn how to use our knowledge of mathematics, physics, and engineering fundamental to manufacture, to design, manufacture, and maintain mechanical equipment, machinery, and tools. So some of the courses that we take as fundamental courses that we need to take, yeah, are mechanical engineering. For mechanical engineering degrees, engineering mathematics, thermodynamics, fluid mechanics, material science and engineering, fundamental of electronic, computer aided engineering, control and instrumentation. Others that I can recall, statics, dynamics, design morphology, especially for the final courses or final project. We have a course called design morphology, where we have this task of creating an innovative products or services or process, and we present it as a group to the professors. Okay, so far so good. All right, let's look at the now that we know the pathway of to become the mechanical engineers. Let's look at the top 10 universities for mechanical engineering in the world. Yeah, so I have this from the QS World University Rankings. So number one is MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology in the United States. So anyone who's accepted to MIT is like, the cream of the cream for the engineers. During my time, I actually tried to apply for MIT. Of course, I'm not admitted, but University of Minnesota is not too bad either. But I have a friend from my batch, not from Emerson Typing, but from my batch that we went together to US as a group. She was admitted to MIT, and right now I think she married an American and stay in the US. But she is very good. She took the computer science. And then in the US also, Stanford University is a very good university. If you know Tiger Woods is actually attending the Stanford universities, before he became famous golfer. And then, of course, for people that like to go to UK, University of Cambridge, very good. Harvard University, overall in the world, Harvard University is probably number one, the best university in the world. But for engineering, MIT is still the best university. Of course, the other university like Delft University in Netherlands, University of California, Berkeley, Imperial College, Oxford, Politecnico di Milano, and University of Michigan, Ann Arbor. Yeah, if you see a lot of these universities are in the US. Yeah, I think probably if we go down to top 50 universities, probably half maybe in the US. I'm not being biased because I study in the US, but I think when I compare the experience talking to people that's graduated from Australia and UK or Ireland or Germany or Japan, I think US, if you have, I mean, for the students that is going for mechanical engineering or to further studies, if you have a chance, if you have a selection of countries that you want to go, I highly recommend it for you to actually go to the US. Sebab apa? I think US education system is more open, and there are a lot of opportunities to go for the practical training or internships in the big corporations, and you can actually gain a lot of experience. Like myself, during my years of study, I actually did a 1 year practical training, or I become a trainee engineer in one of the biomedical company in the United States. Yeah, I have a friend, my junior actually, from University of Minnesota. Her name is Wan Wardatul Amani. She was like, after that, she went to Purdue University to further study. She's one of the best scientists in Malaysia. She was like my 3 year junior. 3 years after me. So all in all, any university that provides good education system, of course, not only US can give you good education, other countries like Malaysia also good. Yeah, talking to my friends in the mechanical engineering field in Malaysia, of course, I don't have the top ranking, but I can say that people who graduated from UTM is good. Yeah. Um, from or USM, they are good. And also I have friends and colleagues from UST Technology Petronas. So these are good universities, and some other universities that I may not mention here, but they are good universities. So long as you follow the path, you follow the right program, and of course you work hard and study hard and also study smart, you can become the best mechanical engineer that you can be. So far, so good.
Encik Shamsul, we have a question. Now, I
Okay.
know we have the Q&A session later on, but I think
Okay.
we're at this page currently. So, because the question closely relates to this one. So, we have a question from Hadi Shaiful. What about Germany? Because Germany is the best country with machines.
Okay, very good questions. Of course, I don't have a lot of information on the education in Germany. I know for a fact that we have Malaysia German Institutes under MARA in KL. that provides the pathway for the education of mechanical engineering in Germany. Germany is one of the most advanced nation in the world. Yeah. So, but as far as the world university ranking, as far as top 10, I believe if we scroll down to top 50, there are many universities in the Germany. Yeah. So just like in Japan, yeah, there's not much university in Japan, as well as Singapore. Singapore have many good university as well. But as far as top 10, these are the countries. If you are interested to, further your education in Germany, I believe there's a lot of very good university in Munich, in the Hamburg, that you can further your studies, and also there are opportunity for you to learn the third language. Normally we have Bahasa Malaysia, and we have English, and opportunity to learn German, and then also to learn the German technologies and German way of education and way of thinking. I know some friends who are educated in Germany. They are very good one. Fundamentally, they are very strong. And of course, I believe the education system there is good as well. Just like if you're further your study in Japan, you have to learn Japanese language before going into the university level. So the other challenges for university in countries like Germany or Japan or even China, or even Egypt, yeah, those countries that do not use English. So we have to learn their language, and then once you master that language, it's easier for us to know the path. And of course, when you graduated from top university in Germany or Japan, typically you will be offered by the German companies to work in their companies. Yeah. So that's what I understand, and I have many friends who actually graduated from those countries that do not speak English as their first or second language, but they they are doing very well. Yeah, as far as mechanical engineering. Does that answer your questions? Hopefully, Hadi.
Yes, he says, thank you very much.
Okay. All right. Shall I continue? Okay. So how much? I think a lot of people wants to know, especially students, how much the mechanical engineers earn, or how much do we make actually? Quite sensitive uh, questions, if you ask me, but I'm very open. Yeah. So all in all, mechanical engineers are typically well paid. Yeah, depending on the industries that we work on. But overall, mechanical engineers are someone that is very valuable to the company. Yeah, so compared to other field, we earn compared to say civil engineer, or we compare to other type of engineering, we typically are above average. Yeah, so I'm because I have data from United States. Yeah, not that I'm biased towards US, but typically US have very good statistics. Yeah, so typical the mean salary for mechanical engineer in the US is about 89,800. Yeah, so you divide it by 12, so you are earning what 8,000, 9,000. Yeah, about 9,000 plus per month. You time by 4, so it's actually close to 40,000 ringgit per month. So, and then top 10% earning, we typically the mechanical engineer will bring home about 400,000 ringgit. Yeah. So those are the level. So if you see for the fresh engineers in the US, you can bring home 64,000 US dollar per year, or 240,000 ringgit per year. Yeah. But for Malaysia mechanical engineers, if you are based in Malaysia, because of course the rate in Malaysia is lower than the first world country. We are third world country, but typically now in most companies, mechanical engineers is being paid the graduate engineer, that means the engineer that entry level, we make about 3,000 to 3,500 ringgit per month. Yeah, so you time by 12, so plus bonus and perks and others, we may make about 45,000 to 50,000 ringgit per year. Yeah, so after like 5 years and above, so we may earn about 10,000 ringgit per month. Yeah, so that is the typical salary after 5 years, typically. And then top 10% or after your 20 years and over, you can make more than 200,000 ringgit per month, or roughly about, say, close to 20,000 ringgit per month. Yeah, those are top 10%. Or I have some friends who makes maybe about 30,000 ringgit per month or 40,000 ringgit per month in Malaysia. So I have friends who actually work in Malaysia first, maybe 4 or 5 years, and then after that they're being offered to the company in the Middle East, in Saudi, in Dubai or in Qatar. So they make about maybe 50,000 ringgit per month, 60,000 ringgit per month. Yeah, if you convert the rate. So typically, mechanical engineering, one, is well paid. Second, if you are good and you have good reference, you are in demand. That means people will try to grab you from your current employer. Yeah. So like myself, there are some offered outside of Petronas, but I actually did not go because of certain issues, family issues and others. But earning in Petronas is very good as well. Okay, so far so good. Okay, so you feel that mechanical engineers, we can get good money. Okay, so typically mechanical engineers, we are judged by the solutions or the innovations that we make. Sometimes our bonus tie up to the innovations or the solution that we give to the company, or the design or new design or new creative innovation that we make, and we present to the management and they accept it, and we will get some rewards from that. So far so good. Okay, now it's a bit on the convincing part. I hope most of the participants here are the students or people who actually want to choose mechanical engineering, or right now they are not sure yet, but looking and trying to find out, what is the advantages, or what will make me choose mechanical engineering. Yeah. So some of the characters, that I see from my own experience and talking to friends and talking to the industry, typical mechanical engineers, we are curious about how things work. Yeah, when we see cars, we see, hey, how come this kancil cannot be as fast as Ferrari? Must be a way why, But how come these kancils can overtake Mercedes-Benz? How come this is so good? Yeah, we want to know why the birds fly, and how come aeroplane also can fly. Yeah, we ask those questions. Yeah, when we see things, we want to know why, and why. Yeah, and then we want to know how can we improve things. Yeah. Second character, of course, I keep emphasizing this. We must be good in math and science, and also, of course, English. Yeah, maybe you're not so good now in the MRSN typing. If you're still in MRSN typing, maybe you're not so good. Yeah, but bear in mind, you will keep improving and you will be good once you are exposed to it, or once you have the challenges that you want to take. Yeah. Yeah, but of course, math and science are very fundamental. So if can for students like Form 4 students, if anything, try to score in math and science, and also English. Yeah. So the other parts about mechanical engineer, we want to see the world evolve. We like to see things in the world. We want to travel to the world. We want to make friends, and we want to see how the industry evolve. How can we improve, or how things are improving from one end to another. So these are the three characteristics that I think why we should choose mechanical engineering. So if we have these three characters, of course there are many other characters, right? If you have these three characters, so you can become a good mechanical engineer. All right. What are the key skills of a mechanical engineer? Yeah. So typically, and a lot of my daily tasks involve this, the key skills that we learn in the universities, as well as we learn as we progress in our career life. So the ability to solve problems, be it a complex problem or simple problems, yeah, thinking on the move, yeah. So sometimes people are blessed with the talent to solve complex problems just like that. I'm not, yeah, because I think of myself. Sometimes I need to think back. I need to study, and I can work with friends or work with my mentors, and I refer back to the training notes or whatever to solve complex problems. Yeah. So these are the characteristic, the ability to solve problems, be it complex or even simple problems. Second, computer skills. Yeah, we need to equip ourselves with computer skills, at least the Microsoft Words, PowerPoint, and then in terms of some uh, programming language. Sometimes if you are very good in AutoCAD, yeah, in terms of computer design, it's advantageous to you as a design engineer for automotive or for the aeronautical field. The other parts, effective oral and written communications. Yeah, this can be you are born with it. Sometimes you are good in effective oral and written communication, but most of the time you can actually learn throughout your career. You will be attending the effective oral and written communication skill course, level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, or you can actually improve it during the mentor and mentee program in your career. Sometimes when you want to be a good orator or you want to be a good presenter, you need to see the best orator in your company or the best orator in the field. Yeah, so you have YouTube, you have all the references. You just go and see, and then you sometimes you can mimic the or follow or try to copycat, try to copy their style. Yeah, so there's no right or wrong, so you can just do whatever you want to do, but important for us to have effective oral and written communications in this field. So far so good. Any quick questions? Too fast? Am I too fast?
No, very
Okay.
nice.
All right. So let's talk a bit on the careers and mechanical engineering field. Yeah. I feel, and of course, I'm a bit biased because I'm a mechanical engineer, but when I compare mechanical engineers and other type of engineering, like chemical engineering, computer engineering, civil engineering, I know and I feel that mechanical engineering careers is something that is very diverse. You can be in many type of field. Yeah. So as a mechanical engineer, you can be a so-called mechanical engineer as it is, or you can be manufacturing engineer, automotive engineers. My good friend is an automotive engineer in Proton, but later part he become a businessman for cars. He owns Perodua dealerships. Okay, very successful businessman, starting from an automotive engineer. Of course, I have friends who are aircraft engineers, engineers for the helicopters and for the AirAsia. You can become design engineers. Yeah, you can be good in computers or AutoCAD. You can do designing of products and parts and objects. Yeah, you can become robotics engineers. Like myself, I'm a mechanical engineer, but I'm now in lubricant field. Yeah, lubrication engineer or lubricant engineer. I deal with the oils that we lubricate the machineries. Yeah, minyak engine, if you know Synthium and others. Those are my field. So you can become technical service engineer. So what technical services engineers typically do? You have when you are trying to sell technical products. Yeah, when you sell technical product, you need to sell to engineers. So who are the best salesperson to market the technical product? So mechanical engineers typically are the best people who can provide the technical service to help the salesman to sell the products to the consumers, uh, expert consumers. Um, in Petronas and other power plants, yeah, there are many rotating engineers. So typically rotating engineers are people who deals with the rotating objects like turbines, compressors. So they are specialized type of people that work for this turbo machinery, yeah, the turbines, so in power plant and refinery. In power plant also, you can become the shift charge engineer. So you work in shift to operate the machineries. You can become a marine engineer. You will go on board of the ships and then, go to, follow the ships and then work with the ship captain. And there are many more. Yeah, you can become a technical trainer. You can become all the best engineer that you can do. Yeah, these are some of it. So we may have the expanded list. So if you are a mechanical engineer, typically one of the widest field are the uh, automotive engineering fields. Yeah, so a lot of companies, like big companies like General Motors, Toyota, Perodua, Proton, Daihatsu, yeah, Mercedes-Benz, they hire mechanical engineers, yeah, to do the designing, to design the processes, to design the parts, to become the, to assemble the products and so on. So these companies require mechanical engineers. There are boundless opportunity in these companies. Okay, so talk about the the interest to see the world. Yes, as a mechanical engineer, I'm fortunate to travel all over the world. Yeah, so and counting, I probably travels to more than 20 countries all over the world, going there to do the technical support, for training, to meet the consumers, to design, to meet the relevant authorities, to meet the original equipment manufacturers. So I travel to many places in the world. At one time, I probably travel every 2 weeks. I travel out in and out of the country. You go back for 1 or 2 days, change the luggage, and then go back. Yeah. So some of the best country that I visited Norway, very beautiful countries, where when I visited, it's the middle of the summer and it's almost near the Arctic. So there's no, almost for 20 hours, there's always daylight. Yeah. So it's one of the beautiful countries. Of course, I studied in the US and I went to Canada as well. And I traveled to most countries in Asia Pacific. Yeah. One of the best country that I went is South Africa. Very beautiful place. So I mean, probably if you are in Emerson typing now, you see, oh, it's impossible for me to go to all these countries. No, believe me, don't think about the impossible. You put in your mind, or you put in your heart that, hey, this brother, where I coming from, I'm nothing. I'm coming from a small village in Ulu Selangor, a rubber tapper kids. I mean, my father is a rubber tapper, and I went to MRSN Taiping from nothing, basically almost have zero money. Then I can, within uh, maybe 20 years or 15 years after I graduated from MRS in Taiping, I enjoy most of the travel to the world. I see people, I have wonderful experience, and I travel in business class in the aeroplane. Even one time or two time I got into the first class in the Emirates flight. So it's beautiful experience. Yeah. So as far as the products or experience, yeah, some of the product that I'm involved in developing in terms of specification, formulation, and providing the final design. So we design the engine oil for Mercedes-Benz, engine oil for Produa, Suzuki, Proton, Yamaha, Volvo, Kia, and others. So I have the opportunity to go and meet the Geely, or the partner of Proton in China. We went to see their manufacturing plant in Shanghai few times. So I went to Mercedes-Benz plant, and we talked to Volvo people. I went to marine ship makers in Denmark and in Finland to meet their people. I went to Belgium to see the gearbox manufacturers. So those are experience that I feel that if I go back 20, 30 years before, I never thought that I can go to all these places and design all these products uh, without, I mean, if I see myself in Form 4, right? So we take this physics, chemistry classes. We don't know where we are going. Yeah. So essentially, believe me, one day you probably will look at certain products out there, maybe computers, maybe cars, maybe aeroplanes, that you are part of the designers, or you are part of the engineers that deals with the initial design, or the final design, or final manufacturing part of the products. Yeah. So some of the activities that I'm involved, of course, these pictures is actually, this is me on board of a ship. This is a ship that a local ship owner in Malaysia, they built ship in Shanghai, China. So they asked me to do the survey of the lubrication chart. You know, what are the oils that they will use in the ship? So they want to use the Petronas oil. So I designed the chart, lubrication chart, for them to bring back to Malaysia. Of course, this is my staff. We do the oil checking. Like our body, right? When we want to check the health of our body, we check our blood. For the equipment or machineries, trucks or lorries or buses, we want to check whether it's healthy or not. We take the engine oil, and then we will analyze this. Some of the other activities that I'm involved, these pictures, I am involved in, I'm the major speaker for base oil seminar for lubricant manufacturers in Tehran, Iran. This is myself. So we talk about the base oil fundamentals, formulation, and specification. So I feel blessed to be in this event, because for one thing, I've never been the major speaker of event. So this event attended by about 300 guests, all PhDs, doctorates, and expert in the industry. And here I am. I only have like bachelor in mechanical engineering, but I talk about my expertise in this lubrication field to all these doctorates. So it's a half-day event, and after that we sit in table, and then we receive all the questions from the audiences. So it's a very interesting event. And in one of other activities in Iran, I was interviewed by the state television of Iran. Yeah, so I didn't have the video here, but it was a funny moment because the thing is, after you typically if you go to Iran, right? After that, you are banned to travel to US. So right now, I think because I went to Iran for about 3 times in my career. So of course, I cannot go to US anymore. Very sad because the once you travel to Iran, you are banned to travel to US. But of course, those are challenges that we take as an engineer. Of course, the other parts of my activities, I do technical training and seminars for the mechanics, engineers, and I also do presentation to CEOs of engineering companies as well. So these are some of the field activities that we go. Yeah, these are some of the solution providers that we go and seek. If we went to see our customers, this is actually in very big coal mines in Kalimantan. You see this actually small equipment, but actually these tires, if I sit next to this, my height is only this level of the what do you call the tires. So it's big tires. So this is a very big operation and a lot of problems and a lot of solution opportunities for mechanical engineers to go. Yeah. So some other activities like this, we work with independent automotive engine rating. We want to make sure that our oil works well. They will see if any parts of the engines or machineries that is broken after we use our oil. So we work with them in the UK, and also we work in the laboratory and testing. Here is actually we are testing the locomotive engine condition in KTMB in Kuala Lumpur in Sentul. So these are some activities. Yeah, of course, that's the end of my presentation. I value any questions or comments. Hopefully, I'm not taking a lot of time and I don't talk too much, hopefully.
No, it's fine. Because just now we had a bit of an audio problem, so I think we can take a few more minutes. Uh, we'll cap the question session until are you okay with 10:25?
Okay, I'm fine.
Yep. Okay. All right. So our first question is from Hadi just now, who also asked the question about universities in Germany. Sir, is there any Malaysia military industry that offers mechanical engineers to develop Malaysia's production of war machines?
Very good questions. To be honest, I don't really know because typically I know one thing. Yeah, in our Air Force or Navy or Army, Tentera Darat, there are many mechanical engineers. Yeah, sometimes they even take seconded engineers from the expert in the industries. Like they may ask from expert from Petronas or expert from TNB or expert from Tenaga Nasional or Telecom to be parts of that. But as far and there are many mechanical engineering opportunities in the military. Yeah, if you talk about ballistics, they are field of engineering that is specializing in ballistic, making the weapons, so making the what they call the bombs or the basically making the unmanned object, unmanned bombs. But as far as the initiative from the government to create Malaysia-owned weapons, I believe there is, but I don't have the first-hand experience because one thing is actually quite confidential. Yeah, because anything with military is quite confidential, but there are many experts in the militaries, and mechanical engineers are part of the highly qualified team in the military.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Encik Shamsul. I hope that answers your question, Hadi. So, if you have any continuation question from that, please do ask. Okay, so our next question is from Puan Zuraini Dahari. She's also an alumnus in MRSM Taiping. So, if a student is interested in engineering, but not sure of what discipline of engineering, for example, electrical engineering, versus mechanical, what are the key factors should he rely to make decisions? And what are the most important characteristics he should have? So there's two questions in it. The key factors to rely and also the important characteristics that that person should have.
Okay. Um, a very good question. Thank you, Zuraini, my good friend as well.
Oh, you could, okay.
Professor Zuraini. So I think I just put it this way. Put the situation if I understand the question correctly. So there's a student, for instance, he or she interested in engineering, but he or she is not sure whether to take mechanical engineering or chemical engineering or computer engineering or civil engineering, right? So what are the points, push points, or the decision making process that he or she can take or should take to find the best engineering field? For me, let me share my experience as a person. Okay, when I when I was in Form 5, I was really into accounting. I wanted to be an accountant. So when we have these forms that we want to fill to further our education, right? So JPA or I think JPA will ask what are the field that you want to take. So I put 1 to 5, all accounting. So confident about doing accounting. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 5, it's all accounting. So the thing is, okay, during the interview, of course we have tests and we have interview. During the interview, the officer asked me, Shamsul, why do you put all the 5 field as accounting? I said, I'm very confident. I want to be an accountant. And then he said, your physics and math are very good. Why don't you become an engineer? I said, really? Yeah. during the session, really? Yeah. I think quite good also lah. Of course, at that time, I don't know anything about mechanical engineering or engineering for say. I said, maybe lah. I think I can also become engineer. But still, on the record, I put 1 to 5 as accounting. But I think somehow the interviewer put that as I also may be interested in mechanical engineering. Okay, so after SPM, right? After SPM, I wanted to be an accountant. So I went for the 2 years the Australian Foundation at that time in MSM Trola. No longer there, I think, for MSM. But we went there for 2 years foundation. But after 3 months there was an offer from JPA to say that Shamsul, we have people who rejected JPA offer to go to the US to become a mechanical engineer, to further the study as a mechanical engineer. Are you interested to go direct to the US without 2 years waiting in Malaysia, but you have to become a mechanical engineer? Immediately I said, okay, I want to become mechanical engineer. But the first thing for me was like, I want to fly directly to the US because I cannot stay in Malaysia anymore at that point of time. But that was from that angle. Yeah, maybe being young and being just wanted to hack of it. Just go to US. We will find out later. But the thing is, I realized this. Yeah, sometimes we also do not know what is the best career for you. But if you see your background, you look back at your background in terms of your education, you're good in math, you're good in physics, maybe you're good in chemistry as well. And you think that I'm also good in accounting. Yeah. So you feel that you can be an accountant, but back in the what they call the in terms of capability, you are actually have uh, an unknown thing that you need to really study and really need to find out what this is all about. Of course, this small talk, career talk, is one good way to have an exposure. But for me, at that point of time, I don't have any ideas actually. What is the mechanical? What are the mechanical engineer? But I know for a fact that I have the drive to do whatever that I can be. If given the opportunity, I can be an engineer. Or even if I don't, I can become an accountant as well. But if I go back now, I feel very lucky to have this opportunity because one thing, mechanical engineer is the widest field of engineering that you can enter in terms of the opportunity. Mechanical engineer can work partly as a chemical engineer also because it's part of the courses that you take. You will take some of the chemical engineering position. My current position now as a lubricant engineer, yeah, mostly is half of it is chemical engineering jobs, but I can do it as well because the education level for mechanical engineering enable us or prepares us to take whatever position and take the challenges as well. Yeah, we are very flexible. And second, there are so many opportunities for mechanical engineering because as a mechanical engineer, any field out there, be it automotive, be it power plant, oil and gas, offshores, they need mechanical engineers. And mechanical engineers also typically are good salesmen. Why I say this? Because most of mechanical engineers, because the education level is so diverse, and a lot of us in terms of characters and in terms of upbringing, yeah. So we can explain about process and explain about products very clearly. Sometime at the uh, uh, very technical level, as well as sometime at a very basic level for people to understand and people to appreciate. Of course, the other perks as a mechanical engineer is the, of course, like I said, career opportunities very, very big and very open to many fields. Second, we also we make quite handsome amount of salary. Yeah, and we can shift between one position to another. For instance, yeah. So if like myself in Petronas, I'm in lubrication field, but I can transform myself to become a mechanical engineer in the plant. If tomorrow, say, the management says, Samsul, we need you to work as a mechanical engineer or operation engineer in the plant, I can switch and change my hat, and then I can go to become the shift engineer or the maintenance engineer and so on. Yeah. So the other one is if you like travel, if you like to see things, if you like to explore variety of things, you want to explore many industries, mechanical engineers is typically the best way to explore many industries. Yeah, so I hope I answered that question. It's quite lengthy, but
Yes,
I hope my explanation based on my experience and maybe my upbringings.
thank you very much. Okay, so for me personally, I think I saw the question as very wide covering because you talked about from personal perspective as well as from a technical perspective in terms of education. All right, so from Kak Zuraini, she said, "Thank you very much, Shamsul, aka Banjar, for the inspiring and awesome."
Okay, see you next durian season.
Yes,
Zu.
she says looking forward to Sesi Kendurian in the next Sesi Durian. All right, so our next question we have from site. Can you explain the differences between mechanical engineering and mechatronics engineering? Mm.
Okay. Let me go back to the slides. Let me go back to the slide. Uh, where is it that says mechatronic? Automotive. Just one moment, bear with me. I actually have another slide that I prepared, but I didn't put in mechatronic. Okay. Anyway, so you want to know what is the difference between mechanical engineering and mechatronic engineering. Okay. As as per my understanding, yeah, mechatronics is part of mechanical engineering. Yeah, a lot of universities, like my university, mechatronic is a branch of mechanical engineering. So mechatronics is the combination between mechanical and electrical and electronic engineering. So it based on certain limited knowledge that I have. So when you are in mechatronics engineering, you will be working with mechatronics part, mechanical and electronic parts. So you must be good in the electrical engineering courses, as well as you are exposed to a lot of mechanical engineering course. And the field of work that you work typically will be involved in the electrical and electronic industries, maybe computer industries, electrical equipment and appliances, power plants, and so on. But not limited to that. Yeah, you can be in any industries that have automations, like automotive engineering, automotive industries. A lot of mechatronic engineer as well. Yeah, that combine the expertise of mechanical parts as well as the electronics. I'm sorry if I'm not an expert on mechatronic. During my course of studies in my universities, we can take the certain what they call in mechanical engineering, right? We have certain courses or certain specialized areas. Like my side, when I pursue my bachelor degree in mechanical engineering, I pursue thermal engineering as my course because I like the heat transfers, thermodynamics of material. But they are courses in mechatronics. So that means you focus on mechanical engineering, but your areas of focus in mechanical engineering will be mechatronics. So your courses or your level of knowledge will be focusing on mechatronics. And I know for a fact that my friends who took mechatronic, they have a lot of electrical and electronic courses that they took during their third year or final years. Okay, I hope I answered that questions.
I think yes, because Said Amir says thank you, sir. All right. So we have one last question. I know we only have 1 more minute, but it seems like a very important question, especially in this time of age with COVID and financial crisis and all. So this person asks, in this day, JPA scholarships are so tough and challenging. Is there any more ways for me to pursue engineering overseas with scholarship opportunity?
Um, Thank you for the questions. Very tough question because I am not really an expert on the scholarships and others. Uh, uh, my thinking is, of course, compared to during my time, during Zuraini time as well, where the opportunity to further the study in the US or UK, Japan are very plentiful. I mean, it's relatively easy to get the sponsorships. But right now, the opportunity are there. You know, the big companies, they are thinking long term. They are thinking more in terms of wider, what they call the longer term or wider importance in terms of having the next expertise in their organization. For instance, like Petronas, they are still having their own their program to send people to overseas, and other multinational companies, you know, like TNB, Telecom, and Shell, in other oil and gas companies. But of course, now the challenges maybe two things. One is maybe because of COVID, maybe they try to minimize the sponsorship numbers. Second, there are I would say, more people who have more advanced knowledge now, or smarter people now compared to before. I mean, more people now, and people are much more smarter in terms of having good qualification compared to during 20 or 30 years before. So, but bear in mind, when you have smaller number of opportunities, yeah, we have to look at how can we maximize our opportunity. One, of course, we need to have prepare ourselves to make sure that we get the best results, maybe top 1% of student in the world, in the world, in Malaysia. Okay, second, we have to show that our capability, because now people are looking at more well-rounded people who can talk, people who are good in extracurricular activities, sportsmen, or participation in maybe robotic challenge, or participation in debate, or having good leaderships and so on. So we must upgrade ourselves to ensure that we are in that top 1%. Okay, so that people will see us and we can score during the interview session. Okay, of course during the exam session, if the sponsors would like to have the exam. Second, yeah, the thing that I can see, that even if now you are not able to get this scholarship to send you direct to overseas, yeah, you must take the opportunity to work or to go to the universities in Malaysia first, be it local public university or local private universities, and you make sure that you score or you know get the best results overall in terms of leadership, extracurricular activities, and people will not notice you. And when people notice you, people will give you opportunities, yeah, within that college or university, because certain private or local universities do have certain twinning programs or programs to send the good students to pursue the studies maybe after 2 years or 3 years in the foreign universities. So maybe you don't get the opportunity to further the study immediately because of the current situation, but maybe after 2 years or 3 years, you might be able to have the maybe twinning program or working in the situation where you can attend courses in foreign universities. But again, as much as possible, if I want to compare in terms of local graduates from local university, I'm not saying that local universities are not good. Yeah, it's just that the level of exposure, if you are able to further your studies overseas, yeah, in terms of way of thinking, in terms of communications, in terms of your command in English language, it is much better. It's just that you need to find the right opportunities, and if the opportunities do not come right away, meaning that you don't get the opportunity to fly, after SPM or after 1 year here, that right opportunity will come if you stay true and then stay do the best that you can do in terms of getting your grades right, getting the extracurricular activities right, and also always seeking the right opportunity within the education system. So hopefully I can, a bit answer that questions.
Yeah, thank you so much, Encik Shamsul. Um, your answer provided a lot of hope as well as questions that were very forward-looking.
Yeah. The other one, if I may add, even if you are you're not you didn't get, or you are only able to further your study in the local university, say UTM or UITM or USM. The thing is, the opportunity will come where you work hard, of course, you score, and then you get the best results, best qualifications. You then you can apply for the multinational companies, big companies, maybe international companies as well. And when they see the opportunity or the potential in yourself, they will surely will send you to overseas to be trained for maybe 1 month, 2 months, or 3 months, or 6 months, or maybe 2 weeks kind of training. So you'll be able to be part of the so-called international educational training experiences. Like myself, of course, in Petronas, and when I was in Caltex, I was sent to 1 week training in Bangkok, yeah, and then 2 weeks training in Cleveland, USA, and then I went for 2 weeks training in marine engineering in Bergen, in Norway, and 2 weeks in Finland and in Denmark. Yeah, so there will be opportunities for you to improve yourself in terms of even if you're not able to go to overseas immediately, but later parts you will be, believe me, you will be, and mark my word now, today is what, 27, that Shamsul says one day I can go to travel all over the world to further my studies, or to be part of the training program for my companies. Okay, I
Right.
hope, I hope a bit of motivation talk by me will inspire you to study hard and to be the best person that you can be. And of course, like I said, whenever we do things, make sure that we do a lot of doa, yeah, and then we seek blessing from our parents, because doa from our parents is very powerful. I remember whenever I have a difficult time in the US or even during my careers, I tend to pick up the phone and call my mother, my late mother, or my father, just say, Abah, I am going to present this paper in Iran. Please pray for me. Hopefully I can, do a good job, and then I can bring the good names of my company and good names of the country to, to go back and have a good names as well. So Alhamdulillah, I mean, is the path as a mechanical engineer or lubricant engineer has been relatively smooth. And I can proudly say that, from someone who has, I'm not, when I was in my MRS and Taipei, I'm not the top 20 student or top 50 student. I probably the bottom 20% level, if you have time, I just have a very I would say funny stories about my education level in MRS Taiping. When we graduate, right, in MRS Taiping, during the final penyampaian hadiah, right? So we are arranged in terms of our seating arrangement by CGPA. So the top CGPA, almost the four flat one, will sit up front. So the not so good one like me, we sit at the back. All right. So maybe if we have 240, 250 students, I forgot the exact number. I'm probably about 210 or 220 20 range. So my CGPA was 3.14. I still remember. And then sitting next to me was a lady. Her CGPA was 3.15. So we talk a bit, I never talked to her previously. Yeah, but we talk and then we connect, because, waiting for about 200 people to get their scroll is quite boring. So we talk and then we connected, right? So fast forward about 20 years from that date. Yeah, because my CGPA level was 0.01 lower. So ended up that lady became my boss in Petronas, ex-boss, now ex-boss. So now, so the thing is, don't misjudge your CGPA, because even 0.101 CGPA will determine whether you are a boss or you are a normal engineer. But joke aside, I think the uh, the thing is here. Of course, if you are top student in MRS and typing for people in Form 1, Form 5, or Form 4, yeah, stay the way you are. Okay, improve yourself in terms of maybe communication skill, improve your English skills. Of course, I think you're much better than me when I was in Form 4 or Form 5. But for people who are actually the bottom range, like top below 20% range, there is opportunity for you. Yeah, because sometimes you do not know the talent within yourself. Like myself, I thought my talent is to be an accountant. But later parts, I discover, fortunately, that if I did further study before this, probably I should have all along prepare myself to become a mechanical engineer. But I mean, it happened this way. Yeah, of course, suratan takdir. But I think my point is, anyone can be a good mechanical engineer. Yeah, it's just that you have to be persistent, you have to be confident in yourself, and then don't forget to seek help from others if you need to get help or opinion. Okay, I'm also open if you want to contact me after this to get some opinion or advice. I can help, inshallah.
All right, thank you so much, Encik Samsul. We've already reached 10:38, and thank you actually for giving us your extra time, and also to the participants who have stayed to join up until the end. I guess because we don't have any more questions left, so I'll be giving out my ending remarks. All right, so thank you so much, especially to our special guest Encik Shamsul Bahrin for gracing us and giving us your motivation, your insight on not only mechanical engineering but also towards deciding on what to study and the career path that can be quite vague, but yet in time it becomes clearer. So, as well, many thanks to our audience who have been watching and joining in on our talk for tonight. If you know someone who would have enjoyed this talk but wasn't able to join us tonight, so just search for our YouTube channel, ANSARA TEPEN. So if you look forward to learning from more of our talks like this, just subscribe and hit the bell. So don't forget to give our video a thumbs up if you like our session. Again, we would like to thank TNF Energy for being our strategic partner because without TNF Energy, we wouldn't be having this platform. So remember to follow SOP and stay safe. Now, with that, Assalamualaikum and good night.
Thank you everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.
Terima kasih Cik Samsul.
Thank you everyone.
Banyaknya.
Good night.
Terima kasih Cik Samsul. Datang sekolah ya nanti.
InsyaAllah. Jangan lupa jemput ya.
Mesti.